guys, personal injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and I'm on my way to my sister's place for dinner. Obviously it's raining outside a little bit, but I thought I would shoot you a video about a recent case I settled. Basically what happened is it was a case with a lot of problems, right? And so when a lawyer signs up a personal injury case, the case can look a certain way right at the beginning of the case, and then we collect the medical records, the police report, or the work injury incident report, depending on what kind of case it is. We find out what the insurance information is. Basically, as soon as I sign up a case, the whole process from there on in is collecting information to figure out where we're going to go with the case. So in this particular case, it looked like an okay case, not a home run, not a slam dunk, but an okay case. I would be able to get the guy some money on the case. And his injuries weren't that severe. So it was a situation where it would be a little bit of a fight, and we would definitely be able to get the guy's medical bills paid and put a little bit of money in his pocket to compensate him for the injuries he sustained and the inconvenience and all that stuff. So we took the case, we began to work it up, and I was clear with the guy up front that was the case, that the case wasn't a perfect case, and he was cool with it. So we worked on the case for a little while, and what was a run-of-the-mill average sort of case, as we collected more information and got the medical records, without telling you the details, there were about 3 things wrong with this case, that any one of which wouldn't kill the case, but when you stack the 3 of them together, it made it a case that was going to be really, really hard to prove if we went forward with it, if we went to trial, right? So basically what happened is we got on the phone with him, and we were at the point where we either were going to go to trial or we got an offer on it and we were going to take the offer, right? And surprisingly to me even, we got an even better offer on the case than I thought we were going to. Like, the offer that they put on the case was quite good. And that's, frankly, because we do a very good job of working the cases up. We did everything, possible to make the case as strong as possible for this gentleman, and, there was nothing we could do to fix those 3 problems, and I was surprised maybe the insurance company hadn't discovered the problems, right? So it was definitely a case that I didn't want to go to trial on, because the offer was so good that even if we didn't have those problems, the offer was like in the ballpark of what we could reasonably expect at trial. So basically, I got the gentleman on the phone. I got my client on the phone, and I sort of explained the circumstances to him, and all of a sudden he became very unreasonable. He wanted, a huge amount of money in his pocket, and he wanted to review the entire file, and, wanted way, way more money. And, he eventually agreed to settle the case. But, the reason I wanted to tell you this story is basically sometimes cases start out great, and then as we research them, there are problems that are really difficult to overcome. Now, it works out the other ways too, where a case looks one way when you sign it up and it stays pretty much the way it looked. And then there are other cases that start out with challenges and they end up being really great cases, right? So that's why I work on those cases for people, and sometimes take cases at the beginning, even if the case looks like it might have some challenges. But the thing for you to remember is that, your lawyer can give you some impression of what the case is right at the beginning, but they've got to do research. They've got to get the medical records. They've got to find out what your medical outcome is. And you should beware any personal injury lawyer who tells you, oh yeah, it's a slam dunk $1 million case. I don't do that, because you don't really know whether it's a slam dunk $1 million case until you've done all the research and the investigation. So if you're in a situation where your lawyer is telling you that you should settle a case that you would rather go to trial on, they owe you something though, right? They owe you an explanation as to what's wrong with the case. And if your lawyer won't explain to you what's wrong with the case, then they probably are just afraid to take it to trial, right? You may have a lawyer who represents themselves as a trial lawyer, but they're just afraid to go to trial, right? So I hope this information helps you. I hope you're having a great day. If I can help you, please give me a call, 312-500-4500. And I'd love to hear from you if you have a case that you need help on. And have a great day. Take care.